can't see anything.
Right behind you, Captain.
Do we have to be skulking around in the dark like this?
I'm paying twice your usual fee. Because I'm buying your discretion.
Discretion, I understand. Durable doesn't have the right permits to trade in this sector, and the Romulans are sticklers for paperwork.
No need to worry. The Home Guard commander in this sector is a friend of mine.
Meaning you got to him.
It seems he has a little gambling problem. Ran up a few debts. Fortunately, I was able to help.
What is it you want?
I want you to deliver this cargo container.
What's inside?
Discretion, Captain Russell.
No deal, Gex. Nothing goes aboard my ship until I know what it is.
Very well.
Gex, what are you... And where do you want me to deliver the
merchandise.
Where do you want me to deliver the merchandise?
There's a Starfleet vessel in the Zeta Voltanis sector, the USS Cole.
Never heard of it.
I want you to deliver the merchandise to an officer aboard that ship. His name is Henglaar. I believe you've heard of him.
And how exactly did you know that?
My dear Captain Russell, I make it my business to know things. Knowledge equals profit.
Well, if you know Henglaar, you know he also may just refuse your merchandise. Send it back to you. Jettison it into space.
That would be most unfortunate. I was about to offer you 10 bars of latinum as a completion bonus. But completion means Henglaar accepts the merchandise.
In that case, Henglaar will accept the merchandise if I have to pull out his beard one whisker at a time.
I knew you were the right captain for this job.
Hidden Frontier Productions presents Henglaar, M.D., starring John Whiting as Dr. Henglaar, Heather Ashley as Silan, Jeannie Lynn as Dr. Vonus, Timothy Fritz as Dr. Lucas Noah, and Mark Samarius as Dr. Profto. Episode 105, Prophet Without Honor. Story by Mark Painter. Directed by David W. Hill.
Ship's log, Stardate 62783.1. Commander Stuart Carston reporting. Captain Dana Russell of the Federation merchant ship Durable has requested rendezvous with the Cole to transfer an urgent cargo for Dr. Henglaar. She refuses to discuss the contents with anyone else, but security scans show clear, so I've agreed to the transfer and ordered Dr. Henglaar to the cargo bay to accept his delivery.
Dana, you remember Dr. Vonus?
Of course.
So what is this mysterious cargo I had to interrupt my bowling practice for?
Take a look at this.
Fascinating.
You brought me a patient? In a cargo container?
It appears to be a Romulan female, perhaps 9 years of age.
She's in stasis. I don't understand it either, Henglaar. But some Ferengi paid me a lot of latinum to bring her to you.
And what am I supposed to do with her?
Cure her, you idiot.
The patient's tissue is full of toxins of unknown origin.
Where'd she come from?
I don't know.
She is very ill. If removed from stasis, she would die in minutes.
That's not good enough. I need medical records. I need her history.
Ah, the patient is here.
You know something about this?
My family's been doing relief work on Xantaron Prime. Hundreds of Romulan colonists there have been dying of a mysterious illness.
Then they should contact the Romulan government and request assistance.
They did, but the Home Guard quarantined the planet. And they're keeping the outbreak a secret. My Uncle Gex sent her here so we can figure out what's going on.
Hi, everyone. What have we got?
And Lucas brings up the rear, as usual.
A patient from Xantaron Prime who is dying from unknown toxins.
Wasn't Xantaron Prime occupied by the Archeans during the invasion?
Ah, now we're getting somewhere. Unknown toxins in the patient's tissue. Possible exposure to Archons. Coincidence?
Archons evolved in a whole other galaxy. Their biochemistry would be very different from ours.
Archean bacteria, maybe? Some kind of infection?
The tricorder shows no dangerous microorganisms.
But a Starfleet tricorder wouldn't necessarily identify Archon germs. Take some cultures just beyond the safe side.
I will replicate some samples of the toxins. If we analyze them, we may be able to deduce their origin.
None of us is a molecular biologist. We need one. The best one we can get our hands on.
Oh, Henglaar. You wouldn't. There has to be someone else.
She's in the quadrant, Lucas. We don't have time to send for someone all the way from Federation space.
Why is it I never know what we're talking about?
I have to go, Henglaar. Our plasma flow needs tuning, and I was going to talk to your chief engineer about getting some help.
Good luck with that.
But I'll be around for a while. If you get some free time, there's a new place on Unity Station I've been meaning to check out. You can get me that drink you promised me.
After I work a miracle on this patient, you mean?
Exactly. So, it's a date then.
She's cute.
Yes, she is.
I checked the patient's cultures again. There's no trace of a pathogen, no anomalies. Just bacteria, normal for a Romulan female of her age.
Dr. Daniels is on her way, and so is a Lieutenant Singh from Starfleet Intelligence.
What does he want?
Any information we can give them about Archon biology.
It would be helpful to have more of the patient's medical history.
Classic Vulcan understatement. Profto, you're a physician. You know the importance of medical history and differential diagnosis.
I'm a physician, but my uncle isn't. He's a merchant.
Unusual behavior for a merchant, to be caring for Romulan colonists.
My family once had the largest trade partnership on Ferenginar. No one could match our profits. We were the most honored and respected family on the planet.
What happened?
Acquisition gets boring after a while. They don't teach you that in school. But what do you do after you've bought everything there is, and it's still not enough?
After the Dominion War, Profto's family sold their holdings and moved to a Cardassian colony planet to aid in the reconstruction. After the Archon invasion, they moved their operation here to assist the Romulans.
Isn't that against the rules of acquisition or something?
Of course. The Ferengi Commerce Authority banned my family from trading with other Ferengi a long time ago. But since they'd already given up trade for relief work, the ban didn't mean anything to them.
But what about you, Profto? You personally are not under the ban. Why join Starfleet? Why not practice on Ferenginar?
I've heard that medicine is a highly respected profession among Ferengi.
Oh, it is. But do you know how Ferengi doctors earn their profits?
How?
When a patient comes to a doctor for treatment, the doctor first quotes a price.
What happens if the patient can't pay?
Well, then they don't get treatment.
You mean they blackmail their patients? As in, pay me latinum or die?
Exactly.
No wonder you left Ferenginar.
Bridge to Henglaar. I need you and Dr. Profto up here right away.
I'm with a patient, Stu.
On the double, Henglaar. Bridge out.
Forgive us, doctors, but Profto and I are required elsewhere. No doubt our esteemed captain has discovered a hangnail. Come, Profto.
She is cute.
Indeed.
What I can't figure out is, however the toxins got into her body, why can't she just detoxify herself? You'd think that Vulcanoid liver of hers could metabolize anything short of neutronium. Which reminds me, have you had any luck yet?
I have been successful. I have a sample of the synthesized toxins here.
Why in a hypo spray? Oh, you're not going to... You really need to stop doing that.
It is necessary to diagnose our patient. I've already had the same thought you just verbalized. Her liver should be able to metabolize the toxins. Since it has not, either the toxins are more dangerous than we realize, or she is also suffering from diminished liver function. It will be necessary to determine which.
We have molecular analyzers. We have simulators.
I have already used them. They indicate that the toxins pose no serious threat. If the machines are correct, then this experiment will do me no harm. If the machines are not correct, we would need to know this.
Well, that seems logical.
Thank you.
I grow tired of waiting, Captain Karsten.
Henglaar is on his way, Commander Vrelick. Here he is now, Commander.
Henglaar, we meet again. I should have known that if I followed this trail of spies and thieves long enough, it would lead to you.
Uncle Gex!
Profto, help me!
What's with the Ferengi?
This spy has been operating on the Romulan colony world of Zenteron Prime. He kidnapped a Romulan citizen and took her off-world without the consent of her family or the local government, then bribed an officer of the Home Guard to cover for his crimes.
Well, it sounds like the Home Guard got its man. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a very ill patient, and I presume you have an interrogation to attend to.
Henglaar!
No! Help me, please!
I have already attempted to interrogate this prisoner, but his endless cowardly pleading gives me a headache. I make you an offer, Henglaar. I will release the Ferengi to you, if you will release your patient to me.
No deal. Close communications.
No!
He'll kill Gex!
Henglaar, you can't just...
Vrelick isn't going to kill your cousin, Profto. Gex is his only bargaining chip.
Well, that makes sense.
Henglaar, is it true this Romulan kid we have in sickbay's been kidnapped?
I don't think Profto's family would do such a thing.
Of course not.
But the Romulans certainly don't want us examining her, which may be a clue.
Excuse me, Ensign?
You're speaking to a Starfleet lieutenant. See 2 pips on my collar, not 1.
Ooh, sorry. The light isn't very good in here.
Oh, it's some sort of airy-fairy experiment. There's this whole school of thought within the Starfleet Corps of Engineers that reduced lighting helps a warp engine run more smoothly. I myself am sick of having bruises on my shins from bumping into everything, but if that's what they want to try, then I'm more than willing to help them out.
I see. Okay, I was looking for the chief engineer.
That would be me, Lieutenant Ken Cato.
Oh, Captain Russell of the merchant ship Durable. Our plasma flow was a little out of balance. I was wondering, if you could...
I have my own ship to take care of, thank you.
Fine. I'll just return to Durable and try to maneuver us far enough away from your shiny new ship that we won't scuff your finish when our warp core breaches.
Yeah, could you make sure that you move it far enough away not to scratch, the paintwork, because it was just painted a few months ago. And I don't like the whole EV suit thing because I just, get all claustrophobic. And, hey, where'd she go? Oh, Captain, you could ask Salon. She does know a thing or two about warp engines.
Salon, of course. What a good idea. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Oh, well, you're welcome. Don't think anybody's ever said thank you on this ship before to me.
Dr. Henglaar, may I come in?
Well, if I actually have a choice...
Let's get one thing straight, Doctor. I'm from Starfleet Intelligence, not Section 31. I didn't come here to kidnap your staff and send them on a secret mission to the Gamma Quadrant, or to bully you into creating a deadly new bioweapon, or to implicate you in the death of President Saffron.
Are you sure?
We might have to fight a war against the Archons. Starfleet wants to collect every possible bit of information about them.
That's all?
That's all.
This is Dr. Profto and Dr. Vanas. I believe you already met Dr. Daniels.
On the shuttle on the way over, she gave me the very same speech.
I believe there's also a Dr. Noah?
Dr. Noah found he had something important to do on another deck.
Just after I arrived.
How's the patient?
She is not well. She would die in minutes if removed from stasis.
These toxins must be potent.
That's just it. They're not. Yesterday, Dr. Vanas took it upon herself to inject a sample of the toxins into her own body.
You did? What happened?
A few hours of acute discomfort. I did not sleep well last night, but this morning's bioscans show that 60% of the toxins are gone.
Your liver successfully metabolized them. Lucky you.
Then why can't the patient's liver do the same thing?
Because there's something wrong with it.
Maybe she has some kind of pre-existing liver disorder.
But hundreds of other Romulans on Xantaron Prime are just as sick.
It's possible that many more colonists were exposed to the toxins, but only the ones with the liver disorder got sick.
This is not logical. For some unknown liver affliction to strike hundreds of colonists on Xantaron Prime at exactly the same time as the Archaean occupation is a highly improbable coincidence.
Agreed. More likely the two are related somehow.
The girl's already been in stasis longer than the recommended maximum. If we don't find a treatment soon, stasis itself will kill her. The same is probably true for the patients on Xantaron Prime.
What about these toxins? Have you learned anything about their source?
Our working hypothesis is that they're the products of microorganisms the Archons brought along from Andromeda.
I've been studying the molecular structure of the toxins, trying to work backwards to deduce what sort of organism could have produced them. The simulations I've run so far suggest an exotic form of life, unlike anything known to exist in this galaxy.
Yes, but our little problem with the Andromeda hypothesis is that we found no sign of any exotic organisms in the patient. Unless... Henglaar to Durable.
Durable here.
Dana, in the time you had custody of our patient, did you put her through a transporter beam?
No. Why?
What about the Ferengi?
Before he handed her over to me. How would I know?
Right. Henglaar out. I need to talk to Yex.
You mean Relax's prisoner?
That's him. Get him for me.
And how am I supposed to do that?
You're Starfleet intelligence, right? Then show some.
I'll see what I can do.
What did Henglaar want?
He had a question about the Ferengi, but I didn't know the answer.
This ship is a wreck. Have you considered getting a new one?
Replicators are great for whipping up a gourmet meal or a hydrospanner. Building a new ship, it's a little more complicated.
Speaking of hydrospanners, could you hand me one?
Oh, sure. So, you're Henglaar's niece?
He's my father's brother. How long has it been since you changed these impulse packs?
A year or 4. I don't remember. Does Henglaar have any children?
No, he never got around to having any, even though he's been married a number of times. His last real go at it was about 10 years ago.
What happened?
She dumped him and married a Klingon. Ugh! Someone over-torqued these bolts.
A Klingon?
True story.
Sounds like a bad joke.
Don't say I didn't warn you. Can you hand me that phase inverter?
Captain, incoming transmission from the USS Argencourt.
Uh-oh. What'd we do?
Sir?
On screen.
Captain Carston.
Captain McKay, how are you, sir?
Could be better. I've been on subspace all day. It began with a call from Commander Relic of the Romulan Home Guard. I understand you know him.
Yes, sir.
Relic tells me you are holding a Romulan child who's been kidnapped by some Ferengi, and that you refuse to release her to him.
The girl is seriously ill, sir. Dr. Henglaar says she'll die if we attempt to move her again.
Oh, somehow I knew Henglaar was in the middle of this. I also got a call from the Ferengi Commerce Authority. They say Relic is holding a Ferengi prisoner, in violation of treaties between the Ferengi and the Romulans.
Who notified the Ferengi Commerce Authority?
If you find out, let me know. I'd like to get my hands on him.
If the FCA has a problem with Relic, shouldn't they take that up with him?
They did. Relic says he won't release the Ferengi until he gets the girl back. So the Romulans are mad at the Ferengi are mad at the Romulans, and both of them are mad at us. Does anyone around here remember the Arkians?
If there's something I can do to help, sir.
I had a long talk with Commander Relic and convinced him to settle for a visit with the girl. That's it. He gets to take a look at your patient, and in exchange he releases the Ferengi to the FCA. But Relic tells me you won't allow him aboard your ship.
The last time Relic visited a patient in our sickbay, sir, he tried to have him executed.
Whose idea was it to ban Relic? Yours or Henglaar's?
Mine. Wait.
The Romulans are our allies, Captain. Make nice with Relic. And we have our own treaty obligations towards the Ferengi. A liquidator from the FCA will be arriving shortly. You will extend him every courtesy. And, Captain?
Yes, sir?
You're in command, not Henglaar. Try to remember that.
Yes, sir.
Trust me, someday you'll thank me for that. McKay out.
Terrific. Commander Relic, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Captain. I have brought the prisoner Gex as per our agreement.
This is Mr. Brandt.
Liquidator Brandt of the Ferengi Commerce Authority. We've been waiting a long time to get our hands on you, Gex.
You said you'd release me.
I said I would release you to Starfleet.
Under the terms of the Federation Treaty with the Ferengi Alliance, we're obligated to assist the FCA in the investigation of any Ferengi merchant.
You and your family are accused of very serious crimes, Gex.
Espionage, smuggling, kidnapping.
And no profit to show for any of it.
How does the FCA even know about this?
That's a little mysterious.
It must have been someone in Starfleet. No Romulan would leak information. But that is no concern of mine. I have kept my end of the agreement. I expect you to keep yours.
Of course. If you'll follow me, Commander.
How are those computer simulations coming?
I've run the first few series. The data point to a genus of bacteria relatively harmless to humanoids, except that they produce toxic byproducts.
I'd say that sounds harmful enough.
Well, yes, but the computer models indicate highly energetic organisms. They infect the patient rapidly, reproduce at astonishing levels, then disappear as quickly as they came.
Thanks to Dr. Vaughn's willingness to serve yet again as our guinea pig, we know that our patient's ability to metabolize xenobiotics has been compromised in some way.
Guinea pig? I do not understand the reference.
Look it up on your own time. We have multiple mysteries here. Who wants to summarize?
The patient is being poisoned by foreign organic molecules in her body.
He was probably exposed to Archons and whatever germs they brought with them from Andromeda.
Except the germs are gone now.
And her ability to metabolize their toxic residue is somehow diminished.
I think the high energy levels of the microorganisms are significant.
What do you mean by high energy?
Typically, an infectious pathogen derives its energy from the host.
Not this one. According to the models, these germs drew on a far more powerful energy source.
This could be critical. If we knew the conditions under which these bacteria thrive, we might learn something important about the situation in Andromeda.
We need Profto's uncle. I thought you said you were working on it.
I am.
The bottom line here is that this patient has been through multiple traumas. An Archean invasion, infection by an unknown pathogen, exposure to an unusual energy source, maybe more.
Logically, these experiences are not necessarily related.
They are. It's just that the relationship isn't obvious.
Ah, Dr. Henglaar, the pleasure is yours.
What's he doing here?
Fleet Captain McKay's orders.
Uncle, you're free!
Profto? Not quite. I am Liquidator Brent, and both of you are charged with conspiracy to commit altruism in the first degree.
Commander Vrelick has dropped his demand for return of the patient. All he's asking is a chance to see her and verify she's being treated well.
Where is she?
You know, Commander, you really should have someone look at that cough.
Don't patronize me, Henglaar.
If you will follow me, Commander. She is in stasis, so it will not be possible to speak to her. This is the patient.
She looks so peaceful.
Indeed. Unfortunately, she is close to death.
Apparently, someone tipped off the Ferengi, and all hell broke loose. This is the compromise that Fleet Captain McKay worked out.
And who went blabbing to the FCA.
You said you wanted to speak with Gex.
You? Do you know how much trouble you caused?
I did say that, didn't I? Gex, when you took the girl off her planet, did you put her through a transporter beam?
Of course. We were in a hurry to bring her here to you.
The transporter?
Lieutenant Singh, I believe if you examine the transporter biofilters on Gex's ship, you'll find some nice samples of bacteria from the Andromeda Galaxy.
That explains where the pathogens went.
But the biofilters did not remove the toxic molecules because they correctly judged them not to be dangerous.
If they aren't dangerous, why is she dying?
You said it yourself, Dr. Daniels. The Andromedan microorganisms were exposed to some form of high energy. Suppose the patient was, too. Vaunus, administer 5 cc's of hyaronolin.
Radiation?
I get it. The patient was infected with Andromedan bacteria and then exposed to dangerous radiation.
The bacteria thrived, but the radiation damaged the patient's liver, making her vulnerable to the xenobiotic toxins.
That explains why only certain colonists were sick. Those were the ones exposed to radiation.
But how did they get exposed to radiation?
Why didn't you ask Commander Vrelick? You were there, weren't you? The Battle of Centauron Beta?
Of course.
He struck behind enemy lines and halted the Arkan advance in this sector.
And the Praetor gave him a medal for.
But what did you attack the Arkans with, Vrelick?
The patient is responding to anti-radiation therapy. I am taking her out of stasis.
Stasis unit is offline.
Subspace weapons. Isolytic bursts. They produce hyperonic radiation, Berthold rays, all sorts of nasty stuff.
Those weapons were outlawed by the Second Khitomer Accords.
And the Romulan Star Empire signed that agreement, didn't you, Vrelick?
We would never use those weapons against the Federation, or the Klingons, or any other treaty state. But the Arkans never signed the Khitomer Accords.
The Accords also require the Romulans to destroy all existing subspace weapons.
The Arkans meant to enslave us! We have a right to survive as a people! The Khitomer Accords are not a suicide pact! We did what was necessary to protect the Empire.
That explains why the Home Guard doesn't want to help. They're covering up for you.
I'm sure I can arrange for relief ships to visit Centauron Prime. The colonists will be taken care of. Surely there's no need to inform your government. We can keep this among ourselves, in the interest of unity.
Oh, where are my manners? Commander, may I introduce Lieutenant Singh of Starfleet Intelligence?
Starfleet Intelligence? I must consult with my government, if you'll excuse me.
And just when I was beginning to like the guy.
The patient is regaining consciousness.
Who are you?
I am your doctor.
Where are my parents?
You are very ill. Your parents sent you here for treatment.
What kind of microorganisms thrive on isolytic bursts?
I think we just learned something significant about the conditions in Andromeda. If the bacteria there have adapted to subspace radiation, there must be a lot of it over there. Very interesting.
Well, happy ending, I guess.
Not quite. There's still the matter of Gex and his family's flagrant acts of generosity.
The FCA already banned our family, Brant.
And we're not in Ferengi space. Legally, there's nothing else you can do to us.
Excuse me.
Ordinarily, that would be true. But I've been discussing the matter with Commander Vreelik, and we have arranged a transaction that might interest you. The FCA agreed to allow the Romulans to confiscate all your family's wealth. In exchange, the Romulans agreed to arrest you all and extradite you to Henglaar.
You can't do that.
Excuse me?
But we can. The FCA has had all it can take of your family and its flagrant disregard for everything Ferengi hold dear.
Excuse me.
This is your fault, Lieutenant. Why did you have to involve the FCA?
You're right, Dr. Profto. I owe your family something for your trouble.
Oh? What do you mean, oh?
Well, thanks to you, we've gained valuable information both about Andromeda and about the Romulans. So on behalf of Starfleet Intelligence, I am prepared to offer you a bounty of 10 bars of latinum for the information.
10 bars? My grandfather spends more than that each month on Umax.
It's still a profit.
That's right. And if we just earned a profit, then you can't prosecute us.
Yes, but what are you going to do next? 10 bars won't get you very far.
Gex, Profto, your family has an incredible gift for relief work. You have connections. You know which palms to grease. You got into Centaurian Prime months before the Federal Agency for Interstellar Development could. Would you be interested in a contract to distribute aid for us?
An interesting concept.
We would pay you commission for your efforts. You're so efficient that you'll be able to get more aid to the Romulan colonists faster, even after your commission.
Getting paid to give money away? There's no honor in a profit earned that way.
Have you forgotten rule of acquisition number 202?
The only justification profit needs is profit.
I'll have to clear it with Exterior Secretary McGowan, of course, but I'm sure she'll see the advantages.
All right, Gex. You win this one. But we at the FCA are going to keep our eyes on your family. At the first sign of altruism, we'll be on you like a poor man on his last bowl of tube grubs.
If you follow me, Liquidator, I'll show you back to your transport.
Your sickbay seems quite well equipped, Captain. If you'd be willing to part with a few of these items, I could offer you an attractive price.
Where are my parents?
They are still on Zentron Prime.
Thank you. Now you have your happy ending, Dr. Daniels.
Oh, yes, everything's just wonderful, isn't it?
What's wrong with him?
Are you a Romulan? You don't look like a Romulan.
I'm a Vulcan.
My mom says that all Vulcans are evil.
Indeed. My mother once told me the same thing about Romulans. Logically, one must therefore conclude that mothers are not always correct.
Thanks for coming, Casey.
I have to say, I was a little surprised to get your invitation. Mostly you've been avoiding me.
This isn't easy. There's something I need to tell you.
You gave me a lousy recommendation and sabotaged my academy application. What's to tell?
You knew? Hey, look. Henglaar's sitting over there.
All alone. He looks like he's waiting for someone.
I bet I know who.
Why did you do it, Luke? Why is it so hard for you to just let me live my life?
I don't know what came over me, Casey. I tried to make up for it. I even called Dr. Flynn, but it was too late.
Too little, too late. The epitaph for our relationship. Here she comes.
Who?
Henglaar's date.
Henglaar. Sorry I'm late. Engine trouble.
Quite all right. I already ordered the drinks. Here they come.
1 Altair water with a pickled egg on the side for the gentleman, and a mojito for the lady. Enjoy.
Henglaar, you remembered.
How could I forget? Last time it took me a week to get the scent of mint out of my snout.
Enjoy it while it lasts, Henglaar. In the end, she'll break your heart.
Luke, what's happened to you?
You know. I was in love.
No, you weren't. Love is supposed to make a person better, not empty him out and leave a bitter husk.
Where are you going?
This was a mistake. Good night, Luke.
Got your plasma problem fixed?
With Salon's help, yes. First, I tried Cole's engineering room. All I found was some skinny adolescent with social issues who told me to take a hike.
That would be our Lieutenant Cato.
He looks like he belongs in high school.
Actually, he's 26.
A baby.
I know. When I was at the academy, you had to be a mature and responsible individual to be admitted. Nowadays, they're accepting children.
In a few more years, those children are going to be running the galaxy.
There's a scary thought.
Here's to the mature and responsible. Or what's left of us.
I'll drink to that.
This episode also featured the vocal talents of Rick Pike as Commander Stu Karsten, Scott Fack as Lieutenant Ken Cato, Anastasia Rourke as Dr. Casey Daniels, Rowena Sumner as Lieutenant Lal Singh, Scott Butler as Fleet Captain David McKay, Casey Jones as Gex and Lieutenant Commander Andros Mio, Baron Dixon as Liquidator Brant, Casey Burke as Tobel, Eric Langhofer as Server, Andrew Foster as Computer Voice, with Michael McConaughey as Commander Verlek and Melody M. Spivak as Captain Dana Russell. Assistant Director Simon Fraser. Theme and score by Mary Kuyumjian. Additional music by James Horner, Johnny Mercer, Harold Arlen, and Victor Skertzinger. Editor and audio engineer David W. Hill. Medical advisors Farrell Pearson, MD, and Sean Paul Teeling. Technical consultant Jonathan Connor. Associate producer Kestra Oliver. Producer Mark Painter. Executive producers Rob Caves and David W. Hill. Henglaar MD is a Hidden Frontier production.